bullet down to Berlin. You've got another thing.
Get down!
Hello everybody, my name is Randall Calrissian, and welcome back to Unpopular Opinions, the new official name for this review series. In our last video, we talked about Call of Duty World War II Zombies, specifically the first two maps, the Final Reich and the Darkest Shore. The Final Reich is a gorgeous map, however, it kind of feels stale, like almost a multiplayer map with zombies thrown in. The Darkest Shore, however, is one of my most favorite maps of all time. However, it's let down by that damn fog. The fog that's so thick, it confuses the zombie AI sometimes. But today we're going to be talking about the next two maps on the game. That is, the Shadowed Throne, and of course, the Frozen Dawn. How do these maps measure up? Are they better than the first two maps, or are they worse? We're going to find that all out today in this video. And before we get started, before we roll the intro, I'd like to make a quick apology. There's a lot of people who love this game, and that was very evident in the comments section below. So I want to make a quick apology to all of you. I understand how frustrating it can be when someone dogs on something that you absolutely love and adore. So for this episode, I'm going to try to be as fair as possible, putting my personal biases aside and looking at this objectively, not as somebody who dislikes it. However, I will still have criticisms where criticisms are due, but I will not forget to mention the game's many achievements, which this game does have. With all that out of the way, roll the intro. The Shadowed Throne has one of the coolest spawn areas I have ever seen. You're downstairs in some sort of a brick basement, closed off from the rest of the world with zombies pouring out of every single wall. It's cramped, it's condensed, it's claustrophobic, it's perfect. It looks like zombies have absolutely torn this place apart. The building is falling apart, there's fires in the outskirt, it is incredible. And the map itself is honestly amazing. As you open up the door and walk through the spawn area, you see just how destroyed this place actually is. It genuinely looks like a war took place here. It looks like this place was torn apart, and if you know me, you know I absolutely love that in a zombies map. However, the true beauty does not lie in the spawn room, it lies outside. Now this right here is what I call a zombies map. The hanging bodies, the broken buildings, the fires, the fact that it looks like this place was torn apart makes for one of the best visual, most amazing zombie maps I have ever seen. The map is amazing in every way, shape, and form. It looks like this place was torn apart, and if you listen closely, you can hear this. That's right, in between rounds, and even sometimes during rounds, you can hear people on the outskirts fighting for their lives, screaming, shooting at the zombies. You can even hear them getting eaten by the zombies. That is what I call an amazing zombies map. It's so good. But, yeah, you knew there was a but coming. This map is so cluttered. Everywhere there's debris, there's objects blocking you as you're trying to go places, blocking you as you're trying to move places. And when the map gets filled with zombies, it's really hard to navigate, because when you're training zombies, it's easy to get stuck on things. However, that is a minor nitpick. Honestly, I really do enjoy this map. However, the clutterness of the map, just how cluttered it is and how easy it is to get stuck on stuff, does make the map a little infuriating at times. But I will admit that this is one of the best zombies maps in terms of visual storytelling I've ever seen in my entire life. Honestly, before last review, I had forgotten about how good this map was. It honestly kind of makes me change my opinion on the game as a whole. Because I'll be 100% honest with you, when I first downloaded this game, I enjoyed it because of this map. And honestly, playing this map for this footage, I should say, it kind of revitalized my enjoyment in it. However, I still do stand by my statement, this game is a very beautiful mess, and that is because of the story. But before we get into that, let's finish out the map. One thing that I absolutely love about this map is you can actually find zombies eating people. That's right, depending on where you go on the map, you can find out where those screams are coming from. And that's honestly one thing that I absolutely love about World War II zombies, is that the zombies don't feel like creatures with the same name, they feel like zombies. That's honestly always a problem I've had with Treyarch zombies, is that the zombies have never felt like actual zombies. Again, they just felt like creatures with the same name. But these feel like a genuine zombie. They are after you to eat you. Now, as far as the boss zombies go on this map, there's actually not many. Of course, you have the Mangler and you have the Pests. But for this one, you actually have a quote-unquote special zombie. And this zombie is what I like to call the Super Nuke Head. Unfortunately, there's nothing really special about this boss zombie. Instead of carrying around a yellow bomb, he carries around a red one. And he leads behind points, but that's honestly about it. He's actually really frustrating because he can lead you into a corner and get you killed, like I just did. And as I said before, where the map really suffers is how cluttered it is, especially when you're going against something like the Pests. These things are so fast that you constantly have to watch your back, and when you're shooting them, it's easy to get backed up into a corner because there's so much debris everywhere. However, honestly, I think that this is one of the better maps on the entire game. For me, it's about a 7 out of 10. With that all the way, let's get into the game's next map, the Frozen Dawn.
Priority 1, we need that sword.
Sir, what's the sword going to do? We're outnumbered 10-1.
That sword is the key to all this. The Nazis have opened the door to hell on earth, and we're gonna close it.
So remember that apology in the beginning of the video? Yeah, please remember that as I talk about this map. Before I get into this, let me just say that the map is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the plane crashes and the sky, and then the inside that looks like a sacrificial chamber, it is beautiful. To be 100% honest with you, the Frozen Dawn is a map that I absolutely want to love. But unfortunately, I'm just indifferent towards it, and it is for a couple different reasons. The map has many conflicting different tones. Some of it wants to be an open outdoor area that looks like zombies have taken control of the platform, and other times, it wants to be a sacrificial chamber. Also, this wants to tell a much more fantastical tale than the rest of this game did. As you can see, in order to get some areas open, you have to charge up soul boxes, which is fine if this were a Treyarch game, but this isn't a Treyarch game. This is a much more realistic, or as realistic as a zombies game can be, and a much more grounded tale than Treyarch was trying to tell. And that's where I'm so conflicted about this map. Again, the map is gorgeous. There was a lot of time, a lot of love, and a lot of just blood, sweat, and tears put in this map. You can see it through how beautiful it is. But unfortunately, the tone of this map is so conflicting, and so conflicting with the rest of the game, it honestly feels like it doesn't belong here. And I think that's the most frustrating thing about this map. And honestly, I think that's what turned me off of the game in general, is just how conflicting the tone is here. Now, I get it. You gotta tell your story somehow, but at the same time, at the sacrifice of having a set tone, I don't know if it's honestly worth it. Another thing I don't like about this map is everything feels very linear. Here's what I mean by this. Most zombies map feel like a square, well this feels like almost a straight line. There's really no rooms you can camp out in and high round in. This map genuinely feels like it wants you to complete the Easter egg. And hey, for some people who are all about completing the Easter egg, I completely understand that. However, not everyone wants to do that. Some people just want to play a zombies map in high round. I am one of those people. So, completing the Easter egg or being forced to complete the Easter egg just really isn't for me. Again, I do understand the appeal though, so I'm not going to knock the game too hard on that. Also, when the boss zombies start coming in, like the Pest or the Nukeheads or the Manglers, this map is so linear that the corridors, there's not a lot of spaces to move around in, and it's very, very easy to get cornered. It's not cluttered like the Shadow Throne, it's just very condensed. Even though this is, for all intents and purposes, a very, very, very big map. So it's strange, almost. Again, conflicting tones and conflicting areas, and a conflicting sense of just surroundings overall. The spawn area would have you believe that this is going to be a very open map, but the rest of the map is very claustrophobic. Even the areas that are a little bit more open, like the spawn area, it still feels very condensed and a little claustrophobic. So again, I want to like this map, but the map itself is just so conflicting. It's hard to love. It's hard to appreciate because the tone is conflicting, the personality of the map is conflicting, and what the map wants you to think about it is conflicting. Again, they're trading out telling a much more grounded story to make the map a little bit more fantastical. They're trading out an open area to try and get you to complete the Easter egg. They're trading out high rounding for linearity. And I don't know, honestly, it's just not for me. Again, I can understand the appeal of this map, and I do understand why people do like this map, because again, the map is absolutely beautiful. There was a lot of love put into it. So, I get it if you do love this map. Also, I wanted to bring up a very, very interesting point. Last week in the comment section, someone said that they are convinced that some of these games are made bad so they can hype you up for the next Treyarch game, because that is Activision's bread and butter. And honestly, that's a very good point. Maybe these games are made bad intentionally because it builds up hype for the next zombie game. It makes you want the next Treyarch game. The Sledgehammer game sucked. Well, now I gotta wait for the Treyarch game. The Infinity Ward game sucked. Well, at least the Treyarch game will be good. And if that's the case, that's honestly kind of sad. I really hope that's not the case, because again, even though I don't particularly like World War II zombies, I can appreciate the time and love that went into it. With all that out of the way, that's all I really have to say about this mode. There is a boss zombie on this map, however, he doesn't really show up a lot. I mean, he does show up in the very beginning, but honestly, I've never seen him again, and I've gotten as high as round 32 on this map. However, maybe he shows up after you complete the Easter egg. I'm not sure. But, what do you think about this map? Do you like it? Do you hate it? And what do you think about the game as a whole? Do you like it, or do you think it is one of the worst zombie games of all time? Thank you everyone so much for watching. I'm Randall Calrissian. Be sure to join me next week as we go over World War II Zombies, The Tortured Path. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. As always, God bless, and may the Force be with you. Peace.